Did you know that people who do their supermarket shops with a trolley instead of a basket spend significantly more money and buy more ultra processed food, often without realizing it? In addition, this one default choice quietly fuels weight gain, overspending, and food waste. Welcome to the Big Daddy's Big Tips podcast. This is your daily pause, a small moment to step out of the automatic behavior and back into conscious choice. Most of life is not shaped by the dramatic decisions, it's shaped by the defaults, the things we do without thinking, the options placed in front of us, the systems that quietly guide our behavior whilst we're busy thinking about other things. Supermarkets are a perfect example of this. Bright lights, wide aisles, endless choice, everything designed to make consumption feel easy, normal, and justified. And most of the time, we walk straight into that environment without ever questioning how it affects us. This podcast exists to help you notice those invisible nudges. Every single day, you make hundreds of micro decisions. What you pick up, what you put back, what you tell yourself you might as well buy. Each of those decisions sending a ripple effect. Some ripples support the life you want to build, but others quietly pull you away from it. The challenge is that food and money decisions often happen together and they happen very quickly. There's rarely time to reflect in the aisle, so the aisle ends up doing the thinking for you. And where you are today, physically, financially, and emotionally, is influenced by those repeated defaults. That's not something to feel guilty about, it's just something that we can redesign. Because a daily win is not about restriction, it's about changing the conditions in which decisions are made. And this matters because your body and brain are always responding to friction, or the lack of friction. When things are easy to overcome, overbuy becomes normal. When limits are built in, restraint happens naturally. This is what I mean when I talk about priming your vessel. When your vessel is not overloaded physically or mentally, your decisions become clearer. You choose more intentionally. You choose without needing discipline or pressure. And this podcast exists to help you create those conditions across your health, your wealth, and your happiness as one connected system. Every tip you hear from me in this system is deliberately very small because the small environmental changes create surprisingly large ripple effects. So as we move into today's tip, don't think about eating less or spending less. Think about making excess harder. Let's begin. Today's tip is simple, it's practical, and it's quietly powerful. Do your supermarket shops using a handbasket instead of pushing a trolley. At first glance, it might sound trivial, but it works because it changes how your body experiences shopping. A trolley removes limits. A trolley rolls effortlessly. A trolley hides quantity. A trolley creates space to fill, and when space is available, we tend to use it. A handbasket does the opposite. It introduces friction. You feel the weight of what you're buying. You become aware of volume. You notice when the basket is full. That physical feedback matters a lot more than people realize. When your arm starts to feel the load, your brain naturally asks better questions. Do I really need this? Is this worth carrying? What am I prioritizing here? Those questions rarely appear when a trolley is doing all the work for you. And this is why this tip works so well. It turns unconscious consumption into conscious choice. You don't need a budget spreadsheet in the aisle. You don't need perfect nutritional knowledge. You don't need willpower. The basket becomes a boundary. This also changes what you buy. Heavy, bulky, ultra-processed foods suddenly feel less appealing. Fresh produce, lean proteins, essentials will take priority because they justify the effort. And there's another subtle benefit here. Hand baskets naturally shorten shopping trips. When your basket is full, you're done. No wandering, no impulse aisles, no, oh, I might as well just get that. And that is a ripple effect. So let's take a look at how this ripple effect can play out across your health, wealth, and happiness. For your health, smaller shops reduce over-purchasing of ultra-processed foods. You're more likely to buy what you actually need rather than what's engineered to tempt you. And this supports better nutrition and fewer mindless eating habits at home, not to mention the physical exertion of carrying a basket versus pushing a trolley. For your wealth, less volume equals lower spend. Fewer impulse buys, less food waste. Over time, this quietly saves money without feeling like restriction or sacrifice. As far as happiness is concerned, there's a sense of control that comes from intentional shopping. You leave feeling lighter, physically and mentally. There are fewer regrets and there are fewer why did I buy that moments. There's also an identity shift happening. When you choose a handbasket, you're choosing limits on purpose. You're reinforcing the identity of someone who values enough over excess. That identity compounds. You become more selective, more intentional, less reactive, and that spills into other areas of your life. So let's keep this really simple. Next time you're in a supermarket, skip the trolley. Pick up a handbasket, or two if you need them. Let your arms do some of the thinking for you. One small change, one clearer supermarket shop, one positive ripple. And as we come towards the end of today's ripple, let's allow the pace to soften once more. So much of modern life is designed to remove limits. Bigger portions, bigger carts, bigger options. And whilst that might feel convenient in the moment, it often leaves us feeling heavier, physically, financially, and emotionally. This work invites the opposite. It's not restriction or deprivation, it's intention. Daily wins are not about doing less for the sake of it, they're about choosing what actually serves you and letting go of what does not. This is why health, wealth, and happiness are never treated separately here. They're shaped by the same environments, the same defaults, and the same repeated behaviours. If you'd like a simple way to track how these small decisions stack up for you, download your free copy of my Foundation Blueprint. It's a calm, practical system that helps you notice your daily wins. It helps you catch your daily drifts, and it helps you stay aligned with the life that you're building. You'll find it in the show notes, on my website, and through the link in my Instagram bio. So if today's episode has resonated with you in any way, please consider sharing it with someone who always leaves the supermarket with more than they planned. Because sometimes one small shift in approach can change an entire habit. Now, let today's idea settle and carry it with you, literally and metaphorically, because the future you're building is shaped quietly, one intentional choice at a time. I end each episode by asking you a question that you can answer in the comments below, and today's question is this. Thinking about your next supermarket shop, what would change if you chose a handbasket instead of a trolley and only carried what truly serves you? Have a think about it. Let me know what's bringing smile in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Big love, Big Daddy.